Riddle has been the primary supplier of football helmets to the NFL for decades and have continued in that capacity as a direct result of their sponsorship arrangements with the league. Yes, they pay a licensing fee for the privilege of declaring themselves the official helmet of the NFL. I don't know any other industry where a safety equipment supplier is selected based on licensing fees instead of safety factors. Would that be like a balloon company being selected as Ford's official airbag for all of their cars by offering the biggest licensing fee?
Neurologists have been well aware of the long-term effects of concussions since the early 1900s, in spite of the NFL's official long-standing position that they do not cause any damage at all, at least until early this year when they finally fired Dr. No and threw his shameless mild traumatic brain injury committee under the bus.
Many team doctors also pay, or at least provide free medical services, to their local or favorite teams in return for the prestige of being able to tell their patients that they are an NFL doctor. Can anyone spell Super Bowl tickets?
The McCaskey family under matriarch Virginia McCaskey still own 80% of the Chicago Bears. The other 20% is owned by her son-in-law Pat Ryan, Chairman/CEO of our own corporation, and Amy McKenna, who both sit on the Bears board of directors. Son, Michael McCaskey, was also chairman of the Bears organization until April 2010 and was CEO of our own corporation, one of the largest insurance companies in America. For years, a subsidiary of our own has been responsible for calculating and providing many of the actuarial numbers on each and every player to the NFL for insurance purposes, by using their access as owners to all the players' personal data.
Gene Upshaw and his minions then used OWN's actuarial calculations that showed most retired players would likely be dead before they were 55 to quietly advise many of them to take significantly reduced pensions early. Many of those same people who helped Upshaw perpetuate this decades-long scam are still working there today.
Those same actuarial numbers have also been used later by other insurance companies against retired players to turn them down for any insurance coverage due to pre-existing conditions. But if even major insurance companies are using those statistics as a basis to deny them coverage, then how can the NFL continue to deny the long-term effects of playing professional football?
Many retired players were also denied their pension or disability benefits based on a non-existent law which Gene Upshaw and the entire benefits management and approval process perpetuated for decades by declaring that no one could receive both pension and disability benefits at the same time.
As a direct result of this fake law that never existed, even all-time greats like Johnny Unitas were literally defrauded out of their earned disability benefits, and even a lifelong outsider like me knows who Johnny Unitas was.
The more disability claims that are denied, the more funds are available in the general pool for hiring active players at those ever-escalating salaries. This meant more commissions and fees for superagents like Tom Condon and directly benefited the owners and keeping more to pay for unproven rookies. Nudge nudge wink wink.
Superagent Tom Condon also sat on the disability board for years until finally retiring earlier this year.
Retired players have absolutely no vote whatsoever in the NFLPA, an organization that claims to represent their interests. Nor do they have any say or vote in how their pension or disability funds are managed or dispersed.
Until earlier this year, the Grimm Law Group wrote the disability plan and represented the plan for both the NFLPA, the union, and the NFL, the owners. DeMaurice Smith announced that they were dropping the Grimm Law Group at the 2010 Super Bowl press conference with much fanfare. But nothing has changed since then.
A large number of retired football players have been forced to fall back on Social Security, disability, and Medicare benefits in order to have their long-term disability needs covered: hip replacements, spine surgery, dementia, Alzheimer's, etc., and they're actually getting approved, ultimately placing the cost of care on the general public while allowing an employer to completely avoid the responsibilities and burden of paying for the care of their injured former employees. If General Motors were to ever stop taking responsibility for past harm to their former employees, do you think their union, the UAW, or the government would allow it? And would the public tolerate it?
At any given time, Psychologists have pointed out that sociopaths make up at least 8 to 10% of our general population. Professional football, being the physical and gladiatorial sport that it has always been, tends to appeal and attract an even higher percentage of sociopaths and psychopaths than the norm. We've certainly run into a few out there.
And this is one for the lawyers out there. Many of the cases and applications we've written about and discussed here on this blog have been summarily declined or dismissed simply because of the statute of limitations and/or because they have missed an arbitrary window or passed the age of 55. However, if the original process was not only flawed but designed to be intentionally illegal or even criminal, then would that mean each and every case that has ever been turned down will qualify to be reopened?
And is it even possible that there's a criminal case to be made for negligent homicide at the very least with regard to all the retired players who have died so far as a direct result of the NFL and the NFLPA's coordinated actions in ensuring that their benefits were consistently denied?